Roll up, roll up. Welcome back to YellowCard Vanguard. Zystral here today, bringing you a Messiah combo video. Combo video might not be the best way to say this, because I think Messiah is very flexible in how it operates, and as you'll see throughout today, the difference between the best case scenario and the worst case scenario isn't actually as much as you'd think. You'll be surprised how well the stuff interacts together, both old and new, and how well the deck can perform what it wants to perform, both old and new. But without further ado, let's get right into it, and I'll explain to you guys at the end what I mean. So what I'll be showing you guys first is a sort of best case, maximum number of attacks possible. Because Messiah can go one of two ways. It can either go very deep, with the Neo-Harmonics, Metalia engines, just get lots and lots of numbers on your columns, or it can go the everything will lock itself and then unlock itself for heavy multi-attack combos. So what I'll show you now is the multi-attack strat. So this is what your ideal hand would look like. So let's go ahead and pay for Stride and go into Integral Messiah. If you're on GB2, you can go into Neo-Harmonics, and that will change the numbers I'm about to show you. But this is just like if you want to do first round, you want to go all in. So you'll want to set up a pair of Lady Fencer and Dunamis lanes. So this is a recurring theme that we'll have in the video, but just so you're aware, like these two put together is a very, very strong column. So really quickly, I'll just show you like the base combo here. So we're going to attack with both of these together, and we'll pay for Lady Fencer's skill. The Soul Charge 1, and she gets 5k. So this is 16 base, because she got 2k when you played her, plus 7 boost from Dunamis, which makes it 23k. Let's make a note of that now. So the first attack is 23k. And then, at the end of the battle, she'll lock herself, and then we can use Dunamis to Soul Blast 1, lock himself, and unlock the Lady Fencer, and give 4k to somewhere. So we can either give it back to herself, which will put her from 16 to 20 on the second attack, or we can put it on this other side, which makes this go from 23 to 27, which is actually better because then it breaks the magic number column. So we'll put it the 4k here. We'll attack with the Fencer again, using the skill, she gets another 5k, we Soul Charge 1 more. So she's now 16k on the second attack. Then she'll lock herself. And this time we can use Sacrifice, so when she gets locked, to countercharge 1, lock the Sacrifice, and give 3 more k to this Lady Fencer. So this column is already 23k base, plus the 4k from Dunamis makes it 27, plus the 3k from the Sacrifice makes it 30. It's not quite enough to break a magic 31, but it pushes it from the 23, which is in the 21k bracket, up to 30, which is in the 26k bracket, which is still pretty good. So we'll swing there using the skill, Soul Charge 1, gain 5k, so that one's for 30k. And then we can lock the Fencer again, and then use Dunamis again. Soul Blast 1, lock him, unlock this. Now we can again put the 4k on the Fencer to put her from 16 to 20, but that doesn't break numbers. So let's put the 4k on the Vanguard this time. Again, like, that doesn't break numbers either, but it's just still nice to have. We'll swing one more time, Counter Blast 1, Soul Charge 1, for one more 16, and then she'll lock herself. Next we'll swing with the Vanguard, Counter Blast 1, flip 1, unlock everything, Soul Charge 1, draw a card, and he'll give himself 10k. So that'll put him up to 40k, which isn't great, but it's still pretty strong. So now that these are all unlocked, we can do the first 4 all over again, which will once again be 23, 16, 30, and 16. However, we won't actually be able to do the second 16 because we'll have run out of counterblast for the second Fencer, as I'm about to show you. So I'll swing with this 23, pay the cost, Soul Charge, lock self, Soul Blast, Dunamis lock self, unlock the Fencer. Now, at this point we've run out of counterblast, so we can use Sacrifice to countercharge and give 3 more k to this column here, which makes it a neat 26. And the 4k from the Dunamis will just go onto either of these Fencers, it doesn't really matter. That's the first 23k. And now that we've expended all of our counterblast and the Sacrifice, we can only use either of these Fencers one more time. So even though they can both, we have a total of 3 more attacks, 1 from this one, 2 from this one, we can only afford the plus 5k on one of them. So let's just say we don't use it on this one, so she'll just be 11. We can then use it on this one for 26, Soul Charge, lock self, Dunamis, Soul Blast, lock self, unlock, and then 11 one more time. So you've got 11k, 26k, and 11k. So this is all pretty good, and this is a total of, let's grab a calculator. 23 plus 16 plus 30.
Quick maths!
It's a total of 196k power to throw out, which you'll notice is very similar to the Victor combo we did in the last video. I'm ignoring some of the 4Ks from the Dynamics here because they're largely irrelevant. They don't help push numbers, so it's not really major. So that combo was cool, but what if we don't have all the resources we need? What if, say, you don't have the double Fencer in hand, or you don't have the double Dynamis in hand? And what if you don't have 5 open damage, which is what you need for that full combo? Or, what if you know they have a lot of 10Ks in hand and can guard lots of these multi-11K pokes? Well, this is where we have Metallia Messiah, who gives us a lot of reach. So reach in this case just refers to pushing numbers we wouldn't normally be able to push. So you'll see how big Metallia can get on like what I think is an average-ish turn, maybe above average. But first, we'll stride into Integral. We can use the stride skill here if we want. I'm not going to just because it makes the numbers a bit easier. But if you do want to, you can call a Metallia here, lock one of their rear guards, and Metallia would get 3k, which is always nice. We will then make the Tried and Trusted Fencer Dynamis combo, again you see that coming back, and we'll put a sacrifice here. This thing isn't completely necessary, but it's just a nice bonus to have. So we'll swing again with our well-known 23k, Counterblast 1, Soul Charge, she'll lock herself, which will give Metallia 3k. Then we'll use Dynamis, Soul Blast 1, lock self, unlock the Fencer, and Dynamis will give 4k to Metallia. So that puts them up to 7. Then, because 2 things got locked or unlocked, Metallia will get another 6, which was up to 13. We can then swing with Fencer again for 16, Soul Charge 1 more, and then she locks herself, which is another 3k to the Metallia, so that's 16 total. Then we see Sacrifice, see something get locked, so he can lock himself to countercharge. So Metallia will get 3k from the Sacrifice being locked, and 3 more k from the Sacrifice skill itself, which puts that to 22. We'll then swing with the Vanguard, Counterblast 1, flip something, unlock everything, Soul Charge and draw. Then 3 things got unlocked, so Metallia will get another 9k, so that puts him up to 31. And of course, Integral will get 10k, so that's 36k from the Integral. I forgot to mention that 16 from the second Fencer. Let's do our drive checks. Draw, that's fine, we can put more power on the Metallia if we want. Crit, now this one's relevant, because if we put a crit on the Metallia, he's already pushing 40k on his own, and we're going to get a lot more locks and unlocks this turn as well. So he's actually going to be much bigger than our Vanguard. So even if they guard the Vanguard, which is always a clever thing to do, we can then put the crits on the Metallia instead, and now we're threatening, hey, have another PG for this guy, or drop your hand, which is always going to be good. And another trigger, so we'll just ignore the triggers for now. We'll then swing with this column again, which as we know is another 23. Oops. Using the Fencer. She then locks herself, 3k to the Metallia, which went to 34. Then the Dynamis. Soul Blast. Lock self, unlock 4 more k to the Metallia, and then 6k from this, so a total of 10, so it goes up to 44. We'll swing with the Fencer again for another 16. Counterblast 1, Soul Charge. And then we can use the Sacrifice again if we want for another countercharge and another 6k on the Metallia, so that goes up to a total of 50. So he is now 59 swinging in on his own. So even though you see we have less attacks, we have almost as much power. And in fact, let's go to the calculator and see how much we got.
No catch up.
173k total. Almost as much as the 9 attack swing and the Victor combo, except this time we're asking for perfect guards on top of just lots of 10k shields. So now this next combo I want to show you is another best case scenario. And this one revolves entirely around Metallia Messiah and making him pop with Awakings. So this one has a lot of prerequisites. You need to have a PG in the drop zone, you need to have at least 4 soul, and you need to be at least GB1. So while this is the best case scenario, and these are the conditions for it, you can actually use Awakening on his own to give a lot of value from Metallia. But you guys can interpolate and see from exactly this best case how far we can go. So first, we'll stride into Basaltis. This time we'll use the Alter Ego Neo stride skill because this is the best case. Call the Metallia and lock one of their rear guards, so he starts off with a +3. We'll then set up our field this way, and we'll use the PG effect, bind it from the drop zone, lock 2, draw a card. Metallia sees 2 things get locked, so he goes from 3 to 9 from +6. And now we can start attacking. So 9 plus 9 plus 7 is 25, which is a little bit short of magic numbers, unless they're on a 10k Vanguard. But the amount of times we'll be attacking with Metalia and how big he's going to get, I think out-factors this. So next we'll use Dynamis' skill. Soul Blast 1, Lock Self, Unlock. So now we've got a few effects going off here. We've got Awaking, who'll stand the Metalia and give him +2. Oops. Then we've got Dynamis to give him +4. And then he saw 2 things get locked or unlocked, so that's going to be +6. So that goes up to 21 total. It's pretty good. We'll then swing here for a total of 30k. Again, a bit short of the magic numbers, but it's okay for now. Next we'll swing with this column, which might only be 16, but then we'll use the Dynamis here again. To Soul Blast 1, Lock Self, unlock this. And as we saw before, these two together gives a total of +12k, so it goes up to 33, and he stands. Next, we'll swing with the Vanguard, not the Metalia, and you'll see why in a second. So swing with the Vanguard, Counterblast 1, flip with Self. So now we've got 2 face up, we can lock 2, and unlock 2. We can then draw a card, and do our triple drives. So as I mentioned before, getting triggers is always nice to have on the Metalia because he's going to have much more power than our Vanguard swing. And in this particular instance, because of how much Metalia will be restanding, crits on him will be even more valuable. So if you get any drive checks, you might even want to put the triggers on the Metalia instead of the Vanguard. Even if they no guard your Vanguard, the crit on the Metalia will be worth a lot more. But for now, that's just the 26k Vanguard swing. So at the end of the Vanguard battle, you'll see that our field setup looks exactly like it was before we attacked. Oh, and actually we get another +12 to Metalia because we saw 4 things get locked or unlocked. So that goes up to 45. So we can repeat the first 3 attacks again with lots of Metalia swings, starting off with this, which is 16 plus 45, which is a whopping 61k start. We can then use Dynamis, as before, Soul Blast 1, Lock Self, Unlock, +12, which puts us to 57, and stands the Metalia. Metalia will swing again, 57 plus 9, this one is going to be 66. Then this column again, which is back down to a measly 16. But we can use Dynamis one more time. Soul Blast 1, Lock Self, Unlock, plus another 12, which brings us up to 69, hey hey, and stands Metalia. So this final Metalia swing will be 9 plus 69, which is 78. And that's the end of our attacks, but we can see that we have almost as many attacks as the Fencer Dynamis combos, except this time they break a lot higher numbers because of how hard Metalia scales. So once again, back to the calculator. It's a total of 318k power. I don't think even Gallop asks for that much. So now we're going to take it down to the other end of the scale, and I'll show you guys a sort of worst case scenario and how you can recover from that. So let's say that you just face down a really super scary stride turn. There's nothing in the drop zone here, but let's pretend there's like, 2 heal triggers, a bunch of G guards face up, a perfect guard, loads of 10ks. You're basically on the brink of death and you manage to survive somehow. And your hand is down to just these 3 cards. So this is where Dynamis, once again, becoming the MVP of the deck. Between him and the new Ideal Messiah, you can set up a full field and even get into a really strong turn, even though you only have 3 cards in hand. So I'll show you exactly how we do that. So we're going to stride into Integral again. Doesn't have to be Integral, it can be whatever you want as long as it unlocks. And we'll make our field. Now again, you need quite a lot of soul because both Ideal and Dynamis will use the soul, but it will be worth it. So what we'll do is, we'll swing here for an 18k column. It's not too great, it's not too bad either. We'll use Ideal's effect, Soul Blast 1, to look at the top 3 cards of the deck, and Superior Core 1. Not great, we'll take what we can get. So we'll be called Locked, and then we'll shuffle. So while the deck was stacked before this, now that it's shuffled, the deck won't be stacked anymore. So Ideal will lock, then we can use Dynamis, Soul Blast 1, to lock himself and unlock the ideal, who can then go again. Because it's new object, we can reuse the skill. So I'll blast one more. Top 3. Oh, we found a booster. It's not great, but it will do. And he'll lock himself. So now you can see that even though they're locked, we have basically a full field set up. And eventually, when we attack with the integral, he'll be able to turn everything face up, and this column that was previously nothing, that we called from the top of deck, will be able to give us some value. So that'll be 36 with the soul charge and the draw. I forgot to mention the 15 from this one. So, because the 4k from Dunamis has to go onto here, or the Vanguard, because of all the good targets. So that'll be 36k off the Vanguard. We can do our drive checks. Nothing interesting. Crit is alright, but because we're not actually standing a unit, but we're just unlocking and unlocking, the crit is kind of wasted, as opposed to the Natalia combo you saw earlier. But then what we can do now is, we can swing with this rather mediocre 15k column. This was a pretty bad case scenario because we didn't get a nice booster like, say, another Dunamis or a Sacrifice, but it's fine. Then we can swing with Ideal, again, boosted, using again the Ideal's effect. Soul Blast 1, top 3. It's nothing great, but we can call over this, ready for next turn, which is always nice. This will lock itself. Then we can use Dunamis one more time. So that was another 18, and this will be another solo 15. Now, we don't have the soul for it, so we need to use it again, so we don't actually need to call anything, but that's fine. But you can see that from just 3 cards in hand, we've managed to full field, and we've got at least 4 attacks off, which is what this deck always wants to be doing, which is still pretty good going. So it just goes to show you that even in the worst case scenario, Messiah can still put up a fight. So far, all of these combos have been using Dunamis, so I think you can understand why I say that Dunamis is the MVP of the deck. But now, what if we're in another sort of nearly worst case scenario where we don't have Dunamis? Well, that's fine, we can still do stuff, again, because, like I said, Messiah is flexible, it doesn't need very much, and it can always get to where it wants to be. So this time, we'll stride into Harmonix Neo, so we're going for game this time. So we'll use Alter Ego's Neo Stride skill to lock one of their rear guards, and then we'll set up a combo like this. So we've got Fencer, this time boosted by Sacrifice. So while we lose the insane power and the multi-attack combo of Dunamis with Fencer, we still get some pretty good columns coming out of this, which you'll see in a second. So first, we'll attack with this combo column itself. So 16 plus 7 is 23. It's not too bad. We'll use Fencer to soul charge and get 5k. She'll then lock herself. And when she locks, Sacrifice will see that, lock himself, countercharge, and we can give 3k to Meager. So Meager's GB2 gives himself 2k for each of your locked units. So in this case we've got 2, so that's 4. Plus 3 more k from the Sacrifice makes him up to a total of 16, which is a nice magic number. So we'll swing. So that's 16. And then Counter Blast 1 for Meager's effect, lock self, top 3, get 1 locked. Not a great selection, but it will do. Finally, we'll swing with the Vanguard. So, because we locked one of their rear guards from the Stride skill, and we got 5 here, we can actually use Alter Ego Neo Harmonix, unlock everything, these all get 5k each, he'll get 25 with the guard restrict, which is pretty nice. Do our drive checks. Not too bad. We'll ignore the triggers for now because again, we don't have that much multi-attack capability going on. It just depends on, guarding situation where what's best. You guys can figure that out. And then we have 2 more columns again. Now, while we don't have Dunamis so that they can't unlock and re-attack, these are still pretty strong columns because she unlocked, so she's 11k base. When she attacks, she'll get plus 5 from her own effect, which is going to be another plus total of 16. And then we've got 2 sacrifices to refund all the usage of Meager and Fencer, and we've got 3Ks to split wherever we like. So now the case is, do we want to prioritize Meager's GB2, or do we want to prioritize making a good column with Lady Fencer? Because if we resolve attack with this column first, the lock from this Meager will proc this sacrifice, which will give 3k to this Fencer, making it 26. Or, if we attack with this column, it'll only be 23, but these 2 will lock, which will give Meager a lot more power because he'll see locked units giving him 2k. So we go VG here, it's going to be very big, which I don't want to calculate. So let's see what happens if we go with the Fencer first. So it's 16 if we use the effect, plus 3, it's another 23. We get a Soul Charge. And then in the battle, she'll lock, which will proc the Sacrifice to give 3k to this Amiga, who then sees 2 locked units, so he's going to be on 16 once again, plus 5 from the Neo Harmonics. Let me update that as well, that's a mistake. So he's already 21. 21 plus 7 is 28, plus 5 is 33, which isn't quite magic numbers. But then what we can do is, we can lock this instead, to give another 3k, so he sees 3 locked units, so that's going to be plus 6, he goes up to 15, 5 from the Neo Harmonics is 20, plus 6 from the 2 sacrifices, makes a very nice 26. So again, you see that the magic numbers don't quite work out, and that's because we were starting from a poor situation, you know, we didn't have all of our pieces in hand, we had to dig for them with meager. But it just shows you that even with only 2 or 3 cards in hand, Messiah can always like pull off its stride effects. Whether it's the 10k from the Integral, the Guard Trick from the Neo Harmonics, because of how much things that lock themselves, you can always set up what you need. But then again, we only have Dunamis for the unlock, which is why I still say that he's the MVP of the deck. So you'll notice as you play around with these yourselves and like you try and build your own combos, a lot of times you'll be thinking, man, I wish I had a Dunamis right now to extend just that one more attack. I haven't touched on how Arrester works with the deck, because Arrester is actually quite a mediocre combo piece. He's just there for when you have nothing else and you just need a self-lock in some way, shape or form. In fact, Arrester is actually better with Sacrifice than Dunamis, because Arrester can't relock himself after he gets locked. So if you're unlocking with Dunamis, he's just the vanilla, which is kind of not great for what you want to be doing. But that's it for this combo video, and be sure to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, give us a like the video, subscribe, click the bell button, you know, all these things that people are always telling you to do. It really helps us out a lot. You know, if you like our content, you can support us in these ways. And you know, if you guys have any other interesting combos for Messiah, let me know. I'm sure I've missed quite a few. Like I said, Messiah is very flexible. There's probably something I haven't talked about. I'll put the deck list up as well in the description, and let us know what else you want to see. Until next time, Zystral signing off.